Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. It's not actually that warm today, and I think we're either going to get rain later or it's going to stay like this, basically. Cloudy with a chance of nothing. Which, to be fair, is what I like. You know, it's not too hot to the point of dehydration, but it's also not going to hydrate you, you know, that was terrible phrasing. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. Because yeah, even though I've actually had a relatively relaxing week considering what, you know, last week was. Because yeah, like I said, I was going from, you know, one place to another, then to another. It was almost like, I don't know, it kind of felt almost like the week with travel-wise, at least, where I was doing all the location stuff, but definitely the workload was far less in that regard. Because oh boy, that was something. Anywho, sorry, just trying to figure out where two cars are going at once. Yeah, the cars are quiet around here. That's good, at least. Anyway, so yeah, I definitely need a week to wind down and stuff. And my parents are going to be going back to Exeter next week, and I'm just gonna stay. Because I also promised that I was going to start, you know, meeting up with people, and I never actually did. You know, might be a good time to actually have those encounters if I'm around and I'm a little bit more rested than I was when I was waking up early in Exeter to go for walks or have meals at human hours with my parents' friends, and then staying up late with my own friends. So yeah, again, some sort of balance will come from that. I'm still kind of playing catch up in a way. Like, I feel like this is the time where I'm going to get back to some of the other non-scheduled traditional projects and such on the channel. Because, yeah, it's about time that I have some of those still. Because we recorded 3 reviews yesterday, and I've also got the blackjack reviews and stuff. I got reviews for days, really, honestly. And we also talked about puppy love recently, and how we have one scene to do, and Aiden's offered to take that one from us, considering that I spent a lot of last week also working on the Fallen Angels episode that came out yesterday. So yeah, because that was an interesting one. Because it's interesting, because now I'm on the opposite side of the editor, you know, commissioner side of things. Because normally I was just like, oh yeah, with the Mutant Girl we're going to have a bunch of these, but now that the remake of episode 1 has come out, and I basically suggested to Aiden that he should do that, he has 4 of us, well, 4 in total, 3 of us actually, that have been able to split up some scenes with him. And he's gracefully given me some shorter ones this time, because, well, A, I have a fight scene to choreograph, which is going to be fun to do. And B, you know, it's, I also have my other stuff that, again, I've been putting off. Because, yeah, I finally finished after, 2 weeks or something, scene 2 of Alpha Witch Academy episode 2. Granted, that was a scene where there were there were 9 people on stage. And yes, it's on a stage. That's where it takes place. So I won't say any more than that, because I already gave people previews, you know, of scene 1. I don't want to do too much. But yeah, I feel like because I don't have the crutch of voice acting anymore, it's almost forcing me to try and think outside the box and explore other options. Maybe also because I want to really portray the sense of magic that's around in the Academy. I don't want it to just be... I have to watch some more Witch Academy gachas to really base a statement off. But I'm sure there are quite a few out there that are just... This is the setting, we'll do a few spells every now and then, but it's mainly a high school romance again. Because I don't know. A, they're not in high school anymore, and B, that's not my style. You know, I want them to do magic. They're gonna do magic. It's gonna feel like there's magic around, pretty much, and also that there's you know, extras and people, because it's larger than the middle school that the Mutant Girl cast go to. So yeah, you know, I got stuff for that, and I suppose technically speaking I could try and, you know, commission some people to edit and stuff, but the way that I'm doing it with the narration, I almost feel like that's not what I should be doing. Although who knows, really? Is it just now the standard of Buttercorp for all of our projects and affiliated projects to be co-edited? I wouldn't complain too much, honestly, because again, it takes the pressure off of me. And I was trying to do off Witch Academy to do some gacha related content that wasn't pressure inducing. So hopefully that doesn't persist, because I can see myself going, oh yeah, let's do some wizard duels, let's do a broom race or something. And it's like, yeah, but they can also just chill, you know. I feel like that should be a thing every once in a while, possibly, maybe, yeah. I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but for now it's just been arduous, but in a different way. It's almost like I can't allow myself to do something simple. It's like I almost trying to impulse myself to the next big thing. And obviously keep the other big things going as well. Mutant Girl line delivery is still about the same as before. I haven't received news back from Nova. Obviously, I've barely been able to contact with Adri again, even though he said he'd send them as soon as possible. And I just realised as well, I think there's another character that's going to make a return, whose lines I still have not collected. So I need to speak to her as well. It's like, good God, I mean, I don't want to ask them all, oh yeah, just out of the blue, no, they send me all the lines in, but at this point I think I'm just going to. Because A, we lost G-Man, and B, it's just like, you know, life happens too soon, you know? We have everything pre-written already, we have that advantage, we might as well take it. Because again, I don't want to be recasting every single person ever. Again. I found out recently that apparently the character of Haley from the Music Freaks has been recasted. I'm surprised. Actually, well, I'm not surprised really. At least one person had to be. But yeah, when you have a gig that's that potent, you definitely have to have some things going on in life to not be around for it. It's always weird because with gacha voice acting, there's no contracts or anything, at least to my knowledge anyway. The Music Freaks I know was registered on IMDb, which, to be fair, I should have done for me to go a long time ago. But nowadays, I'm almost glad that I didn't, because, as it turns out, there are those who are not satisfied with their association with the series anymore. So yeah, it's almost like I don't even want to say the name anymore because she basically said, "Oh yeah, take down any could we take down any videos with mine and my sister's name or something?" And it's like, well, I don't have to say a name because that's technically not it, but she's the one who played Morwenna, Kylie, Mrs. Dysart, and Granny Marwick. all very essential characters. And her sister, of course, played Pop and Empress, and created Pop and Empress. So yeah. So much for the multi-roles of season 1 and all that. I mean, it's just unbelievable, because honestly, that's something that I was dreading for the longest time. Like, genuinely, it was my biggest fear that was going to happen, because I saw both of them, as I was talking to them, slowly get more and more private and reserved about their own videos. That they used to have very prolific YouTube channels, more prolific than mine. Like, they were producing gacha videos left, right, and center. And again, had I followed in their example and actually done gacha in the way that they were doing, it would have probably been far easier and less excruciating on myself. But I wanted to make it, you know, as coherent and sensible as possible, and also dive straight first into voice acting. But yeah, because yeah, both of them are very instrumental, especially to season 1, because, you know, speaking of the voice acting, you kind of can't just go, oh yeah, well, I'm suddenly uncomfortable with my voice being around, please take the video down. Like, it's different because because Beanie Boy asked me something very similar one time. He asked me to take down the videos that we did for like a short film, because around that time it was when our diss tracks of each other were both circulating, so therefore his fan base was checking out my channel, discovering what his face looked like. It's like, I kind of get that, because your circumstance definitely changed. You know, with those two ladies, it's not the same, because yeah, they both actually, well, one of them deleted her channel, like, entirely. It's gone now, so again, no proper association whatsoever anymore. She even changed her username. But yeah, and the other one, well, she decided not to upload anymore because of copper, because she was worried about getting fined and everything. And so she hasn't produced a video since 2019. It's because it's, yeah. But again, it's different between those situations because of what the Mutant Girl has become. And, well, because of what it always was, in a way. Like, I don't try and be selfish when I come across these things, but it's the difference between, like, you know, unlisting 3 videos, one of which was a short film, a 6-minute short film that we made in a day, that was for a competition that we didn't even win. The bloopers and the behind the scenes of that, which were meant to go on our individual channels in the first place, and a gacha series that basically, even though it's almost undocumented by people, has its place in gacha history, I'm pretty sure. Again, I really don't try and sound egotistical here, or like I'm trying to say, oh yeah, you know, it's monumental, whatever. Like, it's been described by other people as revolutionary, and I'm flattered by that description. But yeah, I can never use it myself for obvious reasons. But yeah, when you think about it, there's a very good chance that, yes, it is what the first series, the proper series that was voice acted. I mentioned this during the pitch meeting parody that I did. But the only examples of gacha voice acting that I really had to go on were, I found it a January 2019 project that people had, like, it was a spy thing that had 2 episodes and that was it. So it wasn't a complete series. Also, you know, there was Aphmau's sketches where she didn't take herself seriously at all, but proved to me that it was possible to do this kind of thing. And then afterwards, sorry, I'm looking around across. As well as some other things people just, like, read out for themselves, like they were reading out all of the dialogue that they had on screen, pretty much. And that was the voice acting that they were doing. But yeah, all of those count, but they were either one-offs, parody skits, or never really went anywhere. So again, I took that opportunity because I always want to try and make a change in gacha community. I want to push what gacha can do in some sort of way. And I'm no artist. That's the whole reason I joined gacha in the first place. I'm not an artist. Like, I used to draw a bit when I was a kid, but you know, I lost the knack and drive for it. Also, I wasn't really into like drawing originals or anything like that. Then afterwards, you know, years later, I discovered, oh yeah, there's this thing that will allow you to create these kind of characters digitally, make them look good, and have them be consistent, so you don't have to redraw them every single time you want to make something. And that's where I think the genius of gacha came from. It's not the first to do this kind of thing. Like, people have compared it to the fact that lots of the MSP community actually moved over to gacha. For good reason, honestly. But there's just much more to do. But yeah, again, it's a genius formula, even if it's been done before to some extent. But yeah, it's just, I always want to try and change something like that. So if I'm not an artist and I can't push, you know, visuals or whatever, which were being pushed a little bit back then by the likes of Midori Stories, who would then later on become another one of the folks who would do voice acted gacha content later on, then what else was I going to do? Well, you know, I can, you know, start gacha voice acting being a thing for an actual series, even if that never actually took off for me and it did for other people later on. That's fine, I was still there first. And also, again, focus on story. And not only that, but also, you know, make a long-running series. Like, I actually kind of had the idea a while into 2019. I was like, this is taking a while to come out, but I can see this really becoming like a very long-running show. Because again, other than Midori Stories, having a series that dragged on for months, you know, or like years wasn't even heard of. Like, back then, it was almost never what you would find. So again, I decided to run with that. You know, these are the things that I can do. I can focus on, you know, on trying to get voice acting started. I can refine my art for script writing. I can try and build a fan base around this perpetually growing thing that I can then continue telling the same story going forward. And I can also, you know, not skip to the end, because again, mini movies back then, especially like non-serious stuff, they just skip to the end. Like, I could have had Morwenna meet Marwick at the very beginning or something. You know, maybe Marwick thinks that she's a freak or something at first, and then by the end you skip forward, you see their life dating together, and then, I don't know, they get married and have kids, and one of them is another mutant or something, you know. Like that kind of thing. Very easily could have happened. Like, if I wanted to be like other people in gacha, then that's what I would have done. But I didn't. I wanted to be as unique as I possibly could. Which again, considering that the uniqueness was not celebrated back then, and arguably isn't today, other than in visuals, there wasn't much that I could do. But yeah, you know, it paid off to some extent, because again, it became the revolutionary series that it is. So, and again, there's more reasons never to not drop the Mutant Girl, rather than the fact that, the story isn't complete yet. And I'm never one for dropping a story permanently that I haven't finished. Like, I'm still want to go back to my old content from 2015-16, the Minecraft roleplays I never finalized, because I don't like the fact that I was telling a story and I never finished it. I hate that feeling. And it's a constant one that just comes back to me sometimes. Like, hey, remember Fortress Pascal? Hey, remember Legend of Tid? Hey, remember Colmenar Viejo? Which, to be fair, we did continue. But that's not even done yet. So Nick North has another series, another season that's going to supposedly come out before the story is complete, because he's only just become king. Like, what does he do now as king? His adventures are only just beginning. And I'm already 6 years down the line in terms of when he first debuted on my channel. So you can see why I don't want to let go of the Mutant Girl. I don't want to ever delete the Mutant Girl videos. Like, both of them, one of the two sisters deleted her videos because she wanted to start into with Gotch anymore, Sorry. She found it cringy, and it no longer represented her. She didn't want to be associated with it. And yeah, fair enough. If that's your decision, then whatever. She was more ingrained into the toxic side of the community in the first place anyway, which I have stayed away from for most of the time that I've been in the community, just kind of forging my own little corner before joining the voice acting community, which again did not exist when I first started. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I really, I really just don't want to let go of that. I mean, in certain ways, the Mutant Girl has destroyed my life. It's the reason that Buttercore exists, and the fact that I end up adapting to a different time zone, interacting with so many other people that were not, that were, super late at night, becoming much more of a hermit than I already was, staying in because I was so tired and never actually woke up properly early in the morning. There's just so many other things. Yeah, in certain ways, it's made me into the unhealthy person I am today, but it's also given me the opportunity to again expand the community that I'm trying to grow, allow me to creatively express what I actually want to express, again, in a way that I was never able to before, because even with Minecraft, I was working with the limitations of not having a crew or anything, and now I do, but it's a crew that I met through doing the Mutant Girl. So, yeah, it's a turning point. It's built me and destroyed me, is what I'm trying to get at. Because, there's such a staple of the time they were made, where I was in life, and again, they also, technically speaking, gave me a world record. So, yeah, they're way too important to give up. So what I did afterwards was I asked, can I leave the Mutant Girl videos up, but just strike the pair of you from the credits? I mean, they're still in the credits of the actual episode itself, but yeah, it's not like I then were going to check, because again, the sister in question didn't actually bother to check Discord again after sending that, because I was downstairs eating at the time, so I only came up later and saw the messages. I was like, oh, okay. We said, oh yeah, I know you're idle, but I'm sorry. As in, I'm sorry for messaging you late. I'm sorry for, almost destroying over a season worth and year worth of your blood, sweat, and tears in one fell swoop. But yeah, either way doesn't matter. She didn't reply, so she hasn't seen the message so far. And to be fair, she hasn't checked Discord for a while, so that's biding me some time. But yeah, I don't know, it's one of those things. I'm like, this cannot end. This cannot be the way that it ends. And yeah, technically I do have the right to keep them up or whatever. It's just that I don't want to cause any more discomfort than I physically have to anyone. Especially not her, because as much as both her and her sister have changed, they still were super instrumental in the way that I am today, and I still hold on to the respect that I had for them, and in where they got me and what life path they led me down, unwillingly so. But you know, there's just so much that I'm grateful for them that I don't want to do that. And also they are my friends, you know. We all kind of like lost touch. There was a falling out that happened a while ago. But yeah, I just don't know anymore. But yeah, like the first, like just for context, there's actually, if you don't know, the very first thing that I did on YouTube on this channel was to make this this Minecraft series that was all about the life of Jesus. We had like different scenes that we posted. They posted online because I didn't know how to edit videos, so why on earth would I be able to edit them into one thing? And I never made those videos public because I never got the permission of the people involved. It was a school project, so I had some classmates. So I never got permission from classmates to actually post those or not. Like, time would come when some other classmates that I worked on other stuff with, you know, like the Seen the Unseen video a couple of years later, that would say, oh yeah, definitely post it, and that's how we're going to do stuff. Would be all over the moon to be to be involved on my channel in some small way. But yeah, not those two. They never discussed that, and so I never actually released those videos, even though I definitely wanted to, because it was like, again, they're another part of my history, you know, of where I was in life, you know, who I was. Same thing. It's the same reason why I don't ever delete videos unless I have a proper reason to. I unlisted the videos that had like the Mutant Girl outtakes and one of the Mayhem sing-offs that featured the pair of them. But yeah, other than that, I don't have any other stuff that they were involved in. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's just one of the things that, again, it's another inclination that I have that I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to lose the most important series that I've ever made in my life. Like, that's the most known story that I have. Like, I even published a book and that barely sold, but this series that I do, you know, on YouTube, first episode, 1,000 views. Other ones, you know, all in the hundreds, except for maybe a couple of them in season 1. But yeah, it's that's what I'm known for now. I mean, that's an AFMAL, obviously. But even then, for a while, I stopped making AFMAL videos when I started doing gacha ones, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what's getting me notoriety now. So, yeah. It's very much my contribution to the gacha community in some form, even if the gacha community itself is largely unaware of its existence. Oh well. So, other stuff that happened. Basically, in better news, that same day that issue happened, I got a comment from Dread T-Rex or Dread Trex. I don't know exactly. The R is lowercase, so I'm not sure if it's pronounced T-Rex or not. And Dread is the one that made the beats for the song that I released a couple of days ago, which was the Feel Like I'm Piccolo one over on the Butter Bunch. So yeah, while the main channel's been going through a crisis right now, the second channel, the community channel, is actually still, as booming as ever. We had a live stream on our actual anniversary, which again was the same day I released the song on, later on. And yeah, while it scarred a bunch of people that were involved in it, it still gathered more attention than than most of my streams on the main channel, actually. So again, it's definitely something to consider doing going forward. Doing more streams, maybe some more Dragon Ball related stuff, because again, there was a lot of people were put off by the Hatterful boyfriend content that we had. Because that's another series that we want to bring back. Because again, we never finished telling that story. It's one of those things, again. And, but yeah, that was exciting. So the comment from Dread was of really good support, the fact that, he really was excited about the beat, because I asked him, oh yeah, can I make how about some lyrics to this song a while ago, and then just kind of left that comment to Stu, and he's like, oh yeah, sure. And then I was like, okay, well, let's do this then. So yeah, he was like really proud that I used the beat and everything, and also he talked about the Wives Unavailable on YouTube and stuff, because I was worried that he was kind of like, oh yeah, no, he's gone. His last video was 2019. It was like a really personal one that was like, oh yeah, his life is, it's got life stuff that's going on. I was like, I really hope that's not still happening, considering, we've had over a year and a half of quarantine. It's like, oh dear. But, yeah. Again, one of those things. I'm just grateful that he's okay, and also that he liked the song. So again, just more stuff that I have to keep going on. And, the Butter Bunch is quite liberating. Because, even though the main channel, it's got its ups and downs and everything, the Butter Bunch, when we had that stream, we had, I think we still do, we had one subscriber for every single day we've been around, 365. It's almost like, wow, that's, how many channels can say that? Well, plenty, obviously, there were the really successful ones, the ones that with thousands of subscribers that, and all that kind of stuff. Considering that it took me 6 years to get to where I got to in 1, I'm very much like, yes, this is perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna work on some Butter Bunch what ifs and go on to do Alpha Witch Academy again and do some reviews. Just basically get the main channel going again with some content that's not just this and another stream vacuum. And then maybe if there's time, I'll work on that fight scene for Fallen Angels. Let's see how we do. Because episode 10, it's gonna be some time before that's all compiled together. But yeah, who knows. In the meantime, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've done so already. And yeah, because that's another thing, I've been doing so well on subscribers recently on this channel. Again, the Butter Bunch, wonderful. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, if you've been unsubscribed, then please go ahead and do so again. But yeah, either way, on that note, until next time, farewell.